Okay, welcome. Welcome to the Unfucking 2026 Masterclass. Um, we have just got back from a weekend or a few days away with the kids and I off grid. So it was really nice actually. We had no cell phone reception, no connection to the outside world, and we really enjoyed it. We were up there with some friends and some people that we've known for a while, and every year they run this camp. And so we decided that we were going to do that this year. Um, and it really took me back because this time, 2 years ago, when we were at this camp, no, 3 years ago, in 2024, when we were at this camp, um, yeah, I was still with the kids' dad. We had had a massive altercation during Christmas that previous year, so in the Christmas holidays. And it was pretty bad. Well, no, it wasn't pretty bad. It was bad. And I didn't, I knew the relationship wasn't good, but I didn't know exactly the different way that abuse plays out and how it impacts you over time. And so we were at this camp and we had decided at that point we were going to separate, but we had been planning this camp with the kids for a couple of days or weeks and we didn't want to like disappoint them. So we kind of thought, well, let's just do one last family holiday together. And obviously everyone else at the camp could feel the family tension. So we were there and they were kind of having to mediate a little bit. Um, because he would lose his cool with me or with the kids or whatever. And there were some women there who worked for Women's Refuge that basically said to me, you need to get out and you need to do it as soon as you can. And then I think it was only a week after that he left, like he moved out of the house. Um, and I was just comparing this time to that time, like our experience of going there this time. The same people were there. And when they saw me, they were like, wow, you look completely different. And I said, yeah, I transformed myself since you last saw me. And this is the work of unfucking, honestly. Um, when I went there last time, I was very like guilt driven, very anxious, very afraid of what what could happen, like the worst that could happen. And over time, as I've worked through that with the work of unfucking in myself and the work that I want to teach others now, I've come to this place where when I was there this time, I just was so present. I didn't have any anxiety. I was just confident and calm and enjoyed our time and had a great time with the kids. Um, Sam wasn't able to come, so he stayed and he had work. But I was still able to manage on my own with kids, and yeah, it was just so good. And so that's a real reflection for me. I had an actual dream the first night we were there, um, about the kid's dad and us having a fight in my dream. And I think just being there brought back a lot of memories. And being in that same situation now, like years later, realizing how far I've actually come and how it is possible to um, get out of the darkness that we're in, even if we feel like it's not. Um, and I think the other thing that came to mind while I was there was that it's so crazy how we can blind ourselves from opportunities or from reality because of what we believe internally. So I really kept choosing what I thought would keep me safe, not what I wanted. And what I mean by keep me safe, it sounds crazy because I was in this domestic violent relationship that could blow up at any moment. It was very volatile. But I felt safe internally because I didn't have to risk losing my kids or the unknown. Like at least, yeah, it was fucking me up, but at least I knew what I was dealing with was kind of the way of my thinking at the time. And this is so common of why people don't change is that the fear of the unknown is a very real thing. But I guess I would just challenge people that the fear of staying in the same and uh, being miserable for your whole life, that's also kind of not the ideal. And the unknown can be opportunity. It's how you frame it to see it rather than a negative thing. And so I was going to get you guys to do a exercise together because I just wanted to really get you to tune into what is it now at this moment in these last few weeks or months, or even if looking back on 2025, what was the thing that kept you stuck? Or where were you stuck? What do you like have going on in your life right now that you're like, if I could just wave a magic wand and change that and shift that, life would be good. I could carry on and be okay. And so you can write that down on your piece of paper right now. Where am I stuck right now? Where am I stuck? And if you're on the live stream, you can drop it in the chat and I'll just give you a minute to really think, where am I stuck? Okay, cool. So in the chat, we've got my relationship. What else? My sister always asking for more than I need, more than she needs, sorry. My career pathway. I should give notice, but I don't want to. I'm worried that I won't find it work. Okay, so those are some good examples for you guys. And we'll go through them. So what I'm going to do with you guys now is, what's the thought or the feeling that comes up? So you have this thought of where you're stuck. What's the thought or feeling that comes up behind that? Because there's usually a thought or a feeling. And for some people, they'll feel it in their body. For others, you'll hear it in your thought. You'll have like an inner voice that says something after it. So I'll give an example for me with my kid's dad and the story I just shared with you guys. It was, I don't know if I can do it on my own without him. It's better to have help than be alone. Even though the help was not that great, it's better than no help. You know, okay. So now I'm going to say a few phrases, and if this is you, just note down on your piece of paper where this is kind of what you're saying to yourself in your head. So where are you stuck right now? And what's the thought or feeling behind that? If I make a wrong move, something bad might happen. It's my fault. I can't risk it. Something's wrong with me. I'm a failure. If I don't make a move, then bad things will happen. I need to keep everything under my tight control to be safe. I'm too broken. I'm unlovable. If people really knew who I am, they wouldn't want to be my friend or my partner or in my life. People always leave. If I don't think about things deeply enough, I'll make mistakes. I miss the old me and I wish my life were different. I can't carry this anymore. I'm tired. Life's too hard. Why me? This is just my life. I don't know how I feel. I actually am stuck, but I don't know how I feel. My head says one thing, my body says another. I don't know if it's me or if it's them. This one, like, I hear so commonly in my classroom. I don't know if it's just me or if it's them. I can't trust myself. So in all of those are like some what I would call prescribing quotes. If you say any of those things over and over to yourself or anything that sounds like that, you probably have some blocks that need unfucking because at the base of these thoughts is a core belief. Um, we know that we don't have thoughts of random. Thoughts come from where we have synthesized information, we've seen or had an experience, and from that we've taken a belief or a understanding of the situation and we've made it our internal way of telling ourselves that's how the world operates and works. And this is on the subconscious level. So we don't always understand that we're having these thoughts.
Papa, Papa, Mama.
Okay, Mama's having a meeting. Can you please take it away? Thank you. So on the subconscious level, especially in childhood, we are observing everything around us and we take on and internalize the feelings that we have from situations that happen around us because we have no one to talk through the emotions that we're feeling at that childhood stage. And if you had emotionally absent parents or caregivers, or it was a chaotic life, it's really common that you will have had to come to a lot of conclusions on your own. And this can sometimes mean that we're still running those old conclusions in our minds without realizing it. And this is where we get stuck. So when we feel like we could make a wrong move, perhaps in our childhood we had hypercritical parents. And so this fear of making a wrong turn or a bad mistake or choosing the wrong thing really goes back to a deeper core belief. And so it's our job in unfucking to really look at those core beliefs of where you're blocked and interrupt the system. Because although you may know in your mind, like, oh, I have this tendency to blame myself, or I have this tendency to be angry about saying yes to things, but I still say yes. We can know that we keep doing something, but if we keep doing something without changing the habit or the pattern, it's potentially a nervous system setup. So with my own story, I knew that the relationship I was in was not good for me, but I kept choosing it because familiarity and fear of being alone was stronger to me than being in this toxic relationship. And I could survive being in a toxic environment because I've been through a lot and I would be fine and blah blah blah. All the lies, all the information you tell yourself to try and justify the position of where you're at now. And it's time to break the pattern and break the cycle of where you're at now to take you to your next level. But you cannot go to your next level unless you have a disruptor. What's a disruptor? A disruptor is what we do in unfucking, where you have something that confronts that belief, or confronts that pattern, and says, this is it. I'm not going to choose this anymore because I not only know better, but I have actions to do better. And so I get really passionate about it because I've seen over and over again how it really helps people shift their lives. So what's the cost of staying where you're at? You're in this position right now where you're not happy in life. Maybe you've got no support. Maybe you have this overwhelming feeling of loneliness because you don't believe that you can share the most inner parts of you because people wouldn't accept you for them. You don't believe that you can be understood because you feel like if you were understood, people wouldn't appreciate or see you and they wouldn't stay with you. And so all of this leads to, these deeper issues lead to poor sleep, physical pain, busy minds, nervous breakdowns, overwhelm. And if you've been reading the Unfucking letters, I talk about how I had fibromyalgia and endometriosis and a lot of pain disorder, migraines. And over the years, I began to learn that there were certain things that would flare up those illnesses to the point now where I have no illness in my body and I'm very healthy and well. And nothing's changed really in my diet or in my lifestyle, other than the fact of the way that I think and act and my nervous system knowing how to regulate. But not only knowing how to regulate, also knowing how to uh, well, I'm not triggered by the stuff that used to trigger me. I'm not triggered by the fact of someone rejecting something I say. I don't internalize it the same way because I've learned how to disrupt that pattern and change the story and internally. So your nervous system keeps choosing these loops, and you can keep trying to sort it out on your own. You can keep trying to go to therapy like I did for years. And you just get to a point eventually where you go, okay, I've had enough. I want to actually change the story. I don't want to like keep rewriting the same story with a different chapter and a different version, a different face, because I kept choosing situations that kept repeating the cycle. Um, and so if you are prone to people pleasing or anxiety or fear, those kinds of things will keep you stuck until you learn how to unfuck them. So we start unfucking on the 18th, on the 19th. The cart closes at 8 p.m. on the 18th of January. That's in a few days. Do not miss it because I don't think I will be able to do another unfucking live round this year. I'm going back to university, so I'll be studying. This is the only time I can give a live round before I go to study. And then while it's live as well, there will be no other purchases. So 18th of January, the cart closes. You can't buy anything after that of unfucking, and you will miss disrupting your system because don't wait a whole year to disrupt it again. I can see now that my eldest is also awake, so I better sign off here. But in unfucking, we're going to identify where you're blocked. We're going to interrupt what the pattern is for you, and we're going to rewire it, dismantle it, and soothe, teach you to soothe your nervous system so that you stop choosing this pathway unconsciously that keeps fucking you up. And we're going to teach you how to have self-trust. It'd be great to see you there. You have less than a few days. I think it's, yeah, what's today? 16th. So you've got 2 days to decide. Don't muck around. Don't wait on it. I'll see you there. Bye.